on one side, Spacestation Gaming on the other. Let's get to the Verizon Skybox and kick off the title match.
Aye, welcome into the land of giants. This one's gonna be fun. SSG, Semper, both teams consider a cheeky little Lambo.
Oh, man.
And we've seen them do the do as they get themselves ready.
This is it. The desk talked about it. Spacestation Gaming. Don't expect them to underestimate Semper. And will we get anything special out of Semper? They have been playing such a consistent and fundamental game of Rocket League. They look indestructible, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And SSG, maybe with some demos, can open things up. It's going to be difficult in this match between these two titans.
Surprising many, but underestimating absolutely not if you're SSG coming into this matchup. Both teams, one win away from qualifying to tomorrow. We're moving on to the main bracket, I should say. Everybody else has to wait their turn.
Absolutely.
And quickly off the kickoff, Casio getting very dangerous, but we're looking for a lot of those chip passes that Semper do so well. They can pull apart the defense of SSG very quickly.
You love that intro from Reddles, talking about how this is, of course, the biggest Rocket League tournament we've ever seen. And of course, it is going to match up to those standards with some great Rocket League between Spacestation Gaming and Semper. What I want to see, most importantly, out of Semper, if we're going to see them take this win, Exotic's got to match that level of play we saw yesterday. 100% goal participation, winning on the 1v1s. And speak of the man himself, going for so many flip resets. If he had any more boost, it would have been a little bit more threatening. And then down the other end, off the backboard, SSG looking for a quick counterattack.
Well, that double commit will slow this game down back to the midfield line, but if you're Daniel, who's been a nail in the coffin against most of the teams he's run into, Semper have to deal with that pressure early. They have to be able to isolate Daniel, get him out of the play, and keep the shooters only on Reddles and Arsenal, but that's even a tall task alone. And
I'm wondering how comfortable Semper are just staying in the backfield, because Spacestation Gaming, if you watch that version 1 series, Spacestation Gaming were holding so much pressure. The first goal in favor of Arsenal for Spacestation.
Well, he sets it up, avoids the bump, carries it right towards the front of the box. Big bump on to Casio, and Arsenal is there to secure the 1-0 lead. But early on, pretty standard from both teams. I mean, the defense was handling a lot of the pressure. Semper not scared by any stretch. For SSG, very composed and patient down the field, and not overextending as of yet.
Absolutely, and I think that was a huge takeaway earlier, as a quick shot from Casio does go accurate, but it's going to be saved from Spacestation Gaming. We've got so many shots right away within the first 2 minutes. I didn't expect it to ramp up this quickly, but of course with the speed that we know both teams can come out with, I don't know why I'm surprised.
That demo could have helped.
Oh!
And it certainly might. Off the top bar, big save. SSG trying to hold on from a flurry of shots and opportunities. Quick pass into the lane, and Exotic will slow it down to the ground. Got Daniel in front, beats one. Reynolds, here comes Casio, and Exotic will close the deal.
I'll say it right here. I think Semper have the best corner play we have seen throughout this wild card tournament. They have been flawless with these 50-50s, getting the ball from the corner into the midfield, and that one didn't even need a follow-up. That's how good the 50 was.
I mean, there was such little boost for SSG.
Yeah.
What do you do in that situation where there's no escape route? And the exit strategy is survive. That's your primary goal now. Off the back corner, plenty of resources here for Semper, but early on, you are looking at SSG to continue that assault. Threadle toward the midfield line. He'll be looking for a challenge, potentially pass. He'll find Daniel on the wing, and it's an open net. It's just far too easy for the young one.
And that third man from the defense of Semper, I believe, got knocked out of the way. I'm looking at it. We got Shaw set, flying high, Exotic backflipping. He didn't even get bumped. Just a big clinical mistake from Semper's defense.
I mean, small mistakes like that are going to hurt, sure. You'd rather do it in game 1 of a best-of-7 with 2 minutes to play and 40-some change on the clock. You don't want to make it often. Off the kickoff win, Semper should be able to get themselves towards the orange side of the field. How long will it last? That will be the question. As a quick takeaway from Reddles, very confident, and in those interviews, he talked about how his game's changed over the year, but more importantly, he feels very comfortable in their chances in this tournament.
And it's interesting because you talk about how Reddles' gameplay and plan has changed over the years. Spacestation Gaming, their playstyle can change within minutes in a game. Oftentimes you'll see them back up and lessen themselves with the aggression. They stop going for demos. They want to go for more midfield passes when SSG, they have built a reputation on that hardcore aggression. They learn to control it here, Spaceman.
I mean, the baseline for SSG is better than some teams' entire championship runs. It's difficult to beat when the audibles come into play, and you have Daniel who can take it from the sidewall like this. Second touch as well. There's down to Reddles. Great redirect. He might sneak through, and it will for Reddles. It's a 2-goal lead early.
Truly threading the needle here for Spacestation Gaming. These are early shots from the midfield, not right in front of the box, and it's still finding a way to pass through the defense.
We burned a bit of time here in game one. It's a long series, but SMPR are going to have to deal with that space on the side wall that Daniel does provide. Off the kickoff, he'll take it again.
Oh,
from the ceiling.
no, he
Double
doesn't.
tap, almost finds it. Quick redirect, no, it's off the backboard. Here comes SMPR, and Shawset will try to slow on the goal line as Casio takes possession.
I'm not sure how Arsenal was prepared for that. The ball pinched not only from Daniel to the other side, but then back to their own defensive end, and Arsenal was prepared for it. Speaks to the ability that these third men have on the field.
I mean, there's a lot of space here. That infield pass just catches the off rhythm of SSG. They had to go up for a challenge they weren't ready for, though they do stabilize. Not a lot of boost right now for Arsenal. He will try to fall back, and Daniel has to recover on the backboard. Quick challenge from SMPR to keep this ball in play. Trading possession back and forth. Through the back wall, chance. Things start to slow down just a little bit, but the speed of play for both teams has really been impressive in the start of game one.
And this is ideal for Spacestation Gaming. Let the ball slow down a bit, go for some controlled pace, and that way you can force some better 50-50s. Here comes Exotic, though maybe off the crossbar and out. It's not on target. There's a demo coming through, and then down the other end goes Arsenal.
Really easy to read when there's no one in your way.
Oh,
Quick cut. Takes advantage, and that's great calls all around. You know the communication is lighting up. SSG taking advantage of game one.
And think about the growth that Spacestation Gaming have gone through to make it to this point and to be able to utilize these demos and implement them when they need to. They're not always searching for a demo. They're not relying on it as much as they were before. It's no longer a crutch. They can bring it out when they need to and when it's necessary. We just saw them do it there. Shawset looking for another follow-up. These shots just not accurate to go through.
I mean, the shots are okay. It's just the power just isn't there. Double commit. Hey, it's good. It floats over. It's a 4-2 game, but with only 20 seconds to play, it's going to take a little bit more.
Need some kickoff magic following this goal. It's a good touch from Exotic, a double commit, but of course you have to send the full house if there's 19 seconds left. You have to pay attention to this kickoff.
And SMPR have excelled at the starvation of SSG on the boost side. They have done such a phenomenal job of keeping so much pressure right on the goal line. SSG haven't been able to deal with it as of now.
Where's that defender going?
No way, it's right over. Big save, it's still out. Arsenal comes in and denies the third goal from SMPR. Daniel just has to kill this one down to the ground. It would have been an interesting finish to game one, but SSG conceding at times, not too often though. It's a game one win.
That was an ideal situation for SMPR. The third man back out of Spacestation Gaming was out of position, could not get the save. Arsenal flies by and makes sure they still have that safety net of those 2 goals.
10 shots for SMPR, 9, if math serves correctly, for SSG.
Oh my.
It's a close game, and it should have been.
Please show me that save again.
But I think the biggest factor, again, was when SMPR found a lot of their pressure right on SSG's goal line, and SSG did not have the boost to be able to meet those challenges. Look what happened. 2 goals, potentially a third. This is a winnable game one for SMPR, but Spacestation took advantage of those mistakes in the back line, and they just closed the deal, and that's what a veteran team does.
Yeah, it was a lot of early on pressure from Spacestation Gaming, but SMPR got more comfortable as time went on. An Exotic, a flip reset. There goes Arsenal across the box to save it. That was a key moment in that game, but obviously the beginning was really what set that match apart for Spacestation.
I mean, that game is a lot closer than what the scoreboard just showed you. It was very skewed, it seemed, for SSG, but it was really down to whether or not SMPR were able to get their progressions downfield, and they had sustained offense, because when the rebounds did come, they found goals out of it.
Absolutely, and now, looking down the other side, there's not too much criticism to be had for SMPR. I think you just need a better start here.
Sure.
Those early on shots, while they were great and very accurate from Spacestation Gaming, I still think the rotations could have come out cleaner for SMPR and found a save. So we'll look to see if that is an adjustment they make in game number 2. And we're just getting underway here. A long best of 7 ahead of us, I can tell.
I mean, you could just see the players kind of taking a big breath, sighing in, and again, it's that patience. You're going to need that in this best of 7, given who's on the other side of the field. From both perspectives, you're dealing with a high-powered offense, and for some people who are watching, a SMPR squad that's turned up as of late, they didn't expect. They're animals. You know what they can do. For SSG, they've been here before. They're trying to do it again.
SMPR flying, under a lot of people's radar, but they are here to make a point. And of course, Exotic is going to do his best he can with those mechanics. The solo plays coming out from him have been truly something else, a spectacle here at the World Championship. Now in game number 2, 15 seconds in, we've already got some pressure from SMPR, leading off from where they left off in the previous game.
Well, interesting little stat, as SSG has scored 4 games in every game number 1 in this series.
Gosh.
And they keep the trend going. It's already something dangerous gets slung towards the net. But Arsenal was ready in the wing for the shovel pass. It just won't land. However, he recovers nicely. And just as I say that, they find something.
This is unreal, the transitions. Daniel doesn't have any boost, and then a disaster strikes where one player goes for the demo, finds it, but then that ball gets hit back into him and then flies across. Semper, they didn't know how to deal with it, weren't expecting it, but Spacestation Gaming were prepared.
It's a punishing way to start game 2, but on Aquadome, anything is possible. And now it's time to bounce back. The Spacestation win the opening kickoff. Quick challenges from Cassio. Fighting against Reynolds in a one-on-one through the corner. Arsenal will grab possession for the moment and extend it long way downfield where Daniel was ready for the meet. He will keep it alive. Right back down to the ground. Reynolds going to have to play this.
Up in the air.
Arsenal right behind. We could be looking at a back pass, but as this gets cut down at the 50-yard line, Arsenal playing from the ceiling. It's a bump, almost across from Reynolds. SSG getting very creative with some of their looks towards the net.
Yeah, and creative with the bumps as well. You don't expect Arsenal to go for it, but then cutting across from the left side of the ball, getting as much power as he can. Chausset, 45, sinks it in.
Great pass. Nice catch. Better finish. All the way through for Semper. They do that so well. They're great at starting the counterattack from their own side of the field, and those long passes they find in transition. Their accuracy has been a big factor of why they've been making this run this weekend.
Anytime Chausset's name gets brought up, you're going to think about the control. Pay attention to that previous first touch, keeping it within his own grasp and then able to get so much power. But Spacestation Gaming know how to react, and they know how to recover. Daniel on the other side. What a fastball.
Clock this one in on the gun. 72 miles an hour.
Oh, my.
Ridiculous redirect and the pre-jump to meet it.
There's been so many midfield passes from Spacestation Gaming. Right as they pass that midfield line, they instantly take that ball into the middle, and they're not usually looking to throw this ball into the corners, which is something we see out of Semper. That corner play has been deadly. Spacestation Gaming, they don't want to do that.
It's a dangerous clear, but you needed to hit it.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot of boost right now if you are Semper. Again, from the side wall, Reynolds just kicking it out and back into play.
Ooh, side nudge.
With a misflip. And
2v1.
that is up to Daniel. Parks the bus and handles it.
Kind of an awkward play from Cassio. He took it away from his own teammate. Panic-inducing. Reynolds looking for something off the corner. Does not find it, and we'll look for Arsenal to get a follow-up. Here comes Daniel, everybody crashing the net, and we haven't seen any double commits. Spacestation Gaming are spreading the field, Spaceman.
I mean, this is the test right now for Semper because SSG can score from anywhere, so you're forced to make these challenges, whether it's up for the pass to the corner, it's a redirect at midfield.
Another midfield pass.
Reynolds looking for Arsenal. Where's Daniel? Right around, but they just couldn't find the opening. Good defense right now from Semper.
Yeah, and they have adjusted Semper. They're going to have to play a defensive game if this is the Space Station they're up against. Cassio, a nice touch, but again, straight into the hands of Spacestation Gaming. We'll see what Semper, have now. Going for the mind game, Chausset 45, gets it a good 50, but Daniel was in the perfect spot.
And he gets boost off of it. You already have Arsenal overextending upfield. But off the backboard, Semper still applying pressure, denying the extra push.
There it is.
Top bar, and it falls down perfectly. Exotic will tie it up.
We were just waiting for this final shot to come through. Reynolds couldn't get a touch on it. A big whiff off the backboard, and Exotic, picture perfect, top corner and down.
And that's a huge shot from Exotic, because even though SSG were starting to mount some of their counterattacks, it really felt like they were 1 or 2 key plays away from breaking this game open, and you slow that down. Exotic finding a big goal, and off the kickoff, could they make it a third? Plenty of time still on the clock for both teams. Daniel will get the escape, and Arsenal again will be on the opposite side of the field. He has boost. Not a lot now. Exotic will punch it away.
Big bump from Cassio. That could be a nice strategy to counter this Space Station Gaming midfield presence. Get some demos on your way back, disrupt them, and maybe a mistake will show its way through that one. There's an opening, one gap, but Cassio couldn't find it.
And now Semper are applying that pressure right on the offensive third like we saw them do in game 1. SSG needs to maintain boost as long as possible if they want to stave off this push. It's Exotic from the ceiling. He's going to leave it to Chausset, high off the backboard. Arsenal will read it. Is Cassio around for a challenge? Yes. Will he make it? Yes. Chausset falling back to midfield.
Now the corner play sets in from Semper. Be wary of these 50-50. Semper are dominant with them, and midfield boost does go in favor of Space Station Gaming. Another midfield pass, but Cassio is prepared for it. They are reading the plays from Space Station Gaming so much better than game 1.
And it's such a great bump as it cuts down the extension through the corner. Numbers have to fall back and rethink their approach as Semper have themselves a tie game. The demo opens up the midfield. It's over Chausset. That might have been a goal if it's upright post, but it just wasn't quite on target. as Exotic will clear towards the side.
And it was difficult too, because Arsenal had to adjust instantaneously. Another miss off the backboard. Here comes Casio, and we'll look to start another form of pressure and possession for Semper. Easily cleared away from Spacestation, but back down the other end. Semper maintaining this one.
You have to make that read, or else Spacestation gets 3 men up, and you're playing a 3-on-2 and a breakaway chance.
There we go.
From the side wall, keep it on the ground. Oh, it's to Arsenal. The bomb. Arsenal can't make the read. He was in the right spot. It just bounced the wrong way. Another quick clear. Now, the speed of Spacestation Gaming is starting to choke out Semper.
Absolutely. And now we find ourselves in the final 20 seconds, all tied up 2-2. Spacestation Gaming looking to take their second game of the series, but might have to do it in OT.
Golden goal is possible, around 1. Daniel, we've seen him do it before with such little time.
Fake.
Gets around a second. Here comes Exotic to cut into the lane. Arsenal trying to pop it and keep it alive. Exotic gives it right back. A chance for Spacestation. And it will touch first overtime of this series in game 2.
Good looks there from Spacestation Gaming, but Semper, in my eyes, have had the best form of possession and pressure we have seen. I can truly see and predict Exotic coming clutch here with a 1v1 play. Look at the 50-50s he's going for, but then a double commit. This might be huge for Spacestation Gaming down the other end.
Arsenal's going to take it, and he beats 1. It's up to Reynolds.
Reynolds up.
Down to Daniel, alive.
Oh,
big block,
what
and it's
a
an open
win.
net. It's going to be game
That's
2.
it.
And Semper, take it away.
And it's all thanks to this 50-50. Not only did Casio get the read to set up the follow-up from Exotic, but everybody from Spacestation Gaming had committed on that play, and it is wide open, perfectly free for Semper to take game 2.
And they gave Spacestation the space to make that play upfield. They gave them the room to go for that challenge. Once they won that huge 50, they keep the ball on the ground, they get it right where they want it, and they use enough boost just to escape upfield for the goal. Beautifully played in the end by Semper.
The crazy thing is that in game 1, Spacestation Gaming would have gone for that exact same midfield pass, but nobody would have been up early. It seems as though Casio has made the adjustment. He's understanding where Spacestation Gaming are tending to flow with this ball, which is into the midfield, not into the corners, and because of that, he can get a better read, force a better 50-50, and ultimately win the game.
2 shots for Daniel, 2 saves as well, had himself a goal. And I think that's the impressive thing from Semper. What a lot of people are overlooking is their ability to make small adjustments in mid-game, let alone mid-series. But once they found they couldn't apply that pressure on the goal line, what do? Started getting more 50s on the sidewall, denying a lot of the extensions and rebounds from Spacestation, and they held on to their boost more and more as the game went on, and it finally paid off.
Yeah, and we'll see now if Semper can carry this momentum forward. What do Spacestation have to say? Of course, a lot of fans in the crowd going to be in favor of Spacestation Gaming. You can see all the signs. I think Reynolds' dad, I was hearing him say he made like hundreds of those signs to hand out, but you know that there's plenty of Semper fans too in this building. As we look at Coach Chrome, forced to make some adjustments. Let's go ahead and get into game number 3.
There's not many fans who are as passionate as Reynolds' dad.
No, sir.
Shout out to the parents who support their children on their adventure through the esports world. Truly nothing like it. Let's get into game number 3. Already a 1-1 series. Plenty of time to go. Reynolds trying to cut it down in the front of the box. Would have been a fantastic way to start this one, but if you're Semper, feels like a bit of the momentum is back on your side in this series.
100%. Getting game 2 is huge for Semper. And they had adjusted quickly. They were 8-0 coming into the series. They lost the first game. Maybe not sure what it felt like to lose for quite some time, but they have adjusted nicely. And Shawset's going to move down the field for a quick transition cut out by Daniel.
When is Daniel going to make his presence known?
Oh, you never know.
Not that he hasn't already.
You never know.
But when is that moment going to happen, and how devastating would it be for Semper? So far, they've done a pretty good job of isolating him on a lot of these plays and keeping him on these solo challenges where he has to fall back in rotation and doesn't get a second chance at the ball.
And well, with the reads we're getting out of Casio, as that third man, he's stopping a lot of these passes that would normally go into Daniel and set up a play. So kudos to Semper for being able to adjust on the defensive side. Both teams missing, and there's some space for Reynolds. Maybe a bump comes through. Casio is last man back, out of position, too far forward, and it's 1-0 for SSG.
I mean, you're certainly worried about Daniel being there for the connection, but Reynolds just puts a shot towards the net.
Yep.
And you got to make that save if you're Casio. A 1-0 lead early.
Simple stuff, but big results from SSG. A nice shot from Reynolds. We'll see if Exotic maybe can make some magic here. Off the kickoff, he has the flick, and it's saved from Arsenal, but we get a follow-up. Shawset 45 says, I got you. I'm going to put this one in. You don't have to worry.
That's a great way to respond. You have a demo in the back line, and Exotic puts it high enough where the challenge from Arsenal would have been essentially the same either way, unless he pinches it off the right post. Great follow-up from Semper to have someone ready to secure the goal. Tie game. A lot of time to play. Kickoff win yet again. Semper, we'll see what they can do with it.
Semper, early responses. Oh my goodness, that double tap, the angle. Haven't seen too many shots like that go in. Semper heating up. We talked about Daniel and those mechanics, but I think all three players out of Semper, you never know when one of them is gonna pop off. There's a flip reset from Exotic.
Here comes Chaussette, playing it laterally. Quickly read by SSG. Daniel, far upfield. Now boost and resources here for Semper. Exotic kicking it high. It's behind Reynolds.
Oh,
this is somewhat open, but Chaussette kind of falls into the play, and all of a sudden, it's a long way downfield. Exotic has to jump from the opposite corner to meet this ball to kill the play. And Spacestation take advantage of a couple of mistakes on Semper's side. They just couldn't find the angle.
And that was a big error in the rotation from Semper. Somebody had to be the follow-up. Where was the cleanup? And Casio, icy there on the field, dodging the demo, not even biting or getting scared from whoever is trying to hunt him down. Still all tied up. Both teams have made mistakes. Both teams have seen opportunities go unanswered. And now down the other end for Semper.
Every time you see Daniel upfield, you're just wondering when he's going to make that jump.
You never know. You never know.
You never do. Quick takeaway from Chaussette. Reynolds popping it right back to midfield. Here comes Arsenal. He's got Daniel as well. Great pass. Better block. Casio, huge.
Casio is insane right now on the defensive side. I remember in the pre-show we talked about defensive MVPs. Casio might be in the running, but still here comes the follow-ups. Another shot goes in. Daniel, you talked about him so much, and finally he answers your call.
I mean, it's set up by Arsenal. Casio played great defense on the swing before, but Daniel closes the deal. And Exotic, it's a coin flip. Where do you go? How do you challenge it? You give the lead back to Spacestation.
There's no doubt about it. They had to work for it. Several shots in favor of SSG. And thankfully, Casio was not on the other end of it. Here we go, final 2 minutes. Plenty of time left in this game for Semper. They have had quick responses previously, but this time they're forced to deal with more pressure out of SSG.
And this has been anybody's game. It's just come down to one opportunity for Spacestation where they have found the win. Now it's up to Chaussette to begin to play through the corner. Exotic
50.
will slow it, but a 50 for Spacestation. Daniel keeping it alive.
Wow.
Play moves on. Another center. Great follow-ups and second and third rebounds from Spacestation. Can Semper keep this one low? No, Reynolds will take it away.
Got space.
He's got all the space.
He's got space.
Reynolds gonna move through, and here comes Daniel. It's 3-1.
Do not give Reynolds any space. Past one defender, flip reset, past the second defender, and it's free for Daniel.
I mean, that's what, the most open extension downfield we've seen so far in this series. Reynolds had enough time to build a house, pay a mortgage.
Sell it even. I mean, this is ridiculous. So much time in the air, but obviously with that flip reset, he deserved to get past that second defender, but Semper, they're not gonna go out without a fight. Chaussette 45, a hammer to the back of the net.
What is that angle? Comes cross field, picks it up from Casio.
Ooh.
Plays it so tight.
Gosh.
Off the crossbar.
This accuracy from Semper. There's some fantastic mechanics on a Spacestation, but these shots from Semper, they're deadly.
Staying in the pocket, they're so scary. Little boogeyman. Minute 10 to go. Back in front of the box.
Another one.
Chaussette. Big save from Daniel. Not a lot of boost right now for SSG. The Reynolds will pop it again. Here comes Arsenal. Casio right back into the orange side of the field.
Oh my.
Recovering nicely is Semper. But can they keep it down low and get it towards the front of the box?
Big miss from Arsenal. Didn't get the read, but of course you've got Reynolds to bail him out. This is going to be where Spacestation Gaming gets tested. The final minute, Semper are going to throw everything they have at that defense, trying to tie this up and equalize.
This is a perfect game to do it as well. You're tied 1-1 in the series, going into game number 4. Be a fantastic way to continue that momentum. Casio's upfield. Though you do get demoed, here's a chance.
There's a
Daniel's
shot.
the only one around. It's a one-on-one. And Exotic can't get the dunk. Daniel yet again defensively stepping up huge, but Chaussette cuts it down. He's flying into the play. Here comes more challenges, and SSG have to clear it out. It's a redirect towards the opposite corner. Chaussette's gonna get boost. 13 seconds to go. It keeps going. Where's the clear from SSG?
Here we go, off the backboard.
It's not there.
He's
9.
Exotic, what? Exotic, you needed to find a touch, and there's still shots raining in on the defense from Spacestation Gaming. And hold on a second, the ball's still in the air, a 50-50 win, and it's up. Back down the other end. Nobody there to follow it up, and this ball will hit the ground. Spacestation Gaming earning game number 3.
Woo! A little close in the end.
A little.
Extra time.
I'm out of breath. That was That was a little too much to handle. I don't know how Spacestation Gaming kept their cool.
And that's what these games are going to be. They're going to be this close throughout. And if you're talking about winning a series against Semper, 5 minutes of excellent Rocket League is what it's going to take.
That was ridiculous. And they were able to open up and make moves for themselves and take big strides, mainly because of this man you see on the screen, Reddles. Think back to that play, beating 2 defenders, setting up his teammate, and Daniel, this time, oftentimes it's Arsenal or Reddles coming in for the crash on the net, but this time it was Daniel really able to clutch things up and get that accurate shot in.
We give highlights to Cassio, and rightfully so, but Daniel in the paint has been phenomenal today. I mean, constant one-on-one individual challenges that he's winning, big clears, big stops, very little boost at times, but finding ways to keep the offense from progressing for Semper, and because of that, he has limited a lot of their shots, 10 shots only, and on the other side again, 9? It's another one-shot game between these two teams.
So close, and you can tell even with the final minute, that was not an easy one for Spacestation Gaming to win. Cassio himself actually had 0 shots to his name because he's playing so well on defense and just holding it back, letting Exotic and Chaussette move forward. We'll see what changes now moving into the next game. There's not too much to harp on. This is some great Rocket League we're witnessing in front of us, Spaceman.
Gotta love what you're seeing, but Coliseum always has something interesting in the card.
Something
I'm
special.
excited to see what it might be.
That lighting really gets to these players.
It really gets you.
Yeah.
It's the setting, the ambiance.
It's there.
The atmosphere. Let's get into it. 2-1 series lead for SSG. It has been a fun one. For Semper, gained momentum in game 2, continued it in game 3, but just one opportunity that didn't go their way, and quickly early on, a couple of chip challenges through the midfield, cutting into traffic, Spacestation denying a lot of these pushes.
Exotic looking to get past one player, did in fact, but then can't get the better 50-50 follow-up. Here comes Arsenal. With some nice movement. I think Spacestation Gaming have learned how to carry this ball out as a team, always taking it into another player that's on another teammate rather. And it's created a lot of opportunities. Their transition game is something to be feared if you're Semper.
Powerful shot off the backboard. Here comes Chaussette trying to restabilize and recover on the rebound, and he keeps it going. It's still in the box. Not a lot of boost though.
Arsenal's down there.
I mean, he's been hanging out, high-fiving other members of Semper every single game in this series. Daniel winning another one, but here comes Exotic. Redirect, backboard. Anybody else for Semper? Maybe. Down to Cassio. Infield beginning to open up, but Arsenal very patiently off the backboard will take it away.
I am concerned for that third man out of Semper. That was a massive touch, I believe, from Exotic, but then where was the rotation in? I think it's difficult for Semper because they don't have the midfield boost. Daniel from the backboard harassing Exotic, going for the bump. Maybe gets Cassio. Doesn't find a piece of him, but there's still Spacestation Gaming opportunities flowing their way.
Second touch. Not a third. Semper doing a pretty decent job of denying Spacestation extra room to work with here. Cross through the box. Quickly cutting into the lane as Arsenal will again escape, but not a lot of boost now. Getting chased by Exotic. Leads it off the corner. Great patience all the way through. Communication, I'm sure, between these two teams is absolutely lights out. And a musty that goes nowhere.
Daniel using that wave dash. Then you can see Chaussette almost got demoed. If you're Semper, you have to deal with a bunch of flies around you trying to bother you and really being a pest. This is very difficult, but somehow, some way, they have kept it 0-0.
I mean, they're giving a lot of respect to one another at midfield. Both teams getting their fair share of challenges into the box, but nothing else coming of it as of late. Cassio, the first one to make that attempt on the break, but the ice will not fall. Here comes Exotic, trying to clear it towards the corner. He will do so, not before Arsenal has something to say about it. About 2 minutes burn here in game number 4 on Coliseum. A demo that leads way to an advantage. SSG don't capitalize. Chaussette doesn't find the angle, but Daniel finds the read. He's got nothing, but it doesn't matter. Exotic will take it away.
And thankfully, Exotic had some boost because Reddles, it looked like he took every pad on the field. Arsenal, the follow-up, that's going to be it. The first goal in favor of SSG.
You can do it, we can do it. You got no boost, you're going to get punished. A win by Reddles, and right when Arsenal makes that jump, you know that's a goal.
Yeah, and that's rough from Cassio because ideally you'd see him go up on the backboard earlier, but I don't even think he had any boost in the tank to do so. Can't position himself properly. They're getting demoed. Arsenal is taking you out. Reddles is taking you out. They get the first goal, but you can respond here, Chaussette. Just as accurate as we've seen him all series long, but it's saved.
And the scary thing about this series, it could just come down to 1-goal games. It really could just be a 1-0 scoreline. You would never know.
Oh, look at the control. It's there.
And front bounces it high off the bar. Here comes Cassio. There it goes. He's back. Game tied.
Look at the way Chaussette controlled this and then forced a 50-50 to get it through the defender who came from above the net. Chaussette knew he could squeeze that ball down and under. It didn't matter if it went in or not because you got the follow-up.
Rebounds are massive, especially against Spacestation. They do such a good job at limiting it.
Nice little alley-oop.
No way that goes in. Dangerous, but here comes Casio through the midfield. Slowing it. Wait, Shawset makes that read somehow. Flies over a defender. And now bumping players left and right off the pitch. Still alive. Semper, so much pressure, but a miss from Casio. Does Spacestation have enough room? They certainly do. Arsenal right through to Shawset, who saves.
Casio's going to want another look at that one. Wide open shot. Still couldn't find any contact. Even if you miss, it's better than just letting that ball fly through because you're giving a free counterattack to Spacestation Gaming. Shawset did find the save, but my word, that is a deadly situation. You don't want to put yourself in again. Another 50-50 from Arsenal. Sends it to the corner. But they have no boost. They've got to get this ball out. You might be looking at Semper taking the lead.
Double tap from Casio. It's down to Exotic. He can play it a one-on-one. Looking for the dunk. Great save from Spacestation. Arsenal gets a hand up and gets in the way. Cleared off the backboard. Breathe for the moment, but not for long. As Exotic will catch it to Casio. Top left poke. It's so easy for Semper.
This shooting accuracy from Semper. I haven't seen anything like this. Exotic off the backboard. Casio. Obviously, this is an ideal situation. You think he's going to go to the far right side, but instead, far left top corner. 2-1 for Semper.
The close quarters engagements have been massive throughout the length of this series. Exotic again, right off the kickoff.
Oh my.
It's a diving save for Daniel. For Spacestation, they need to break out of their own half. They've been stuck here for about a minute.
All the boost is gone. You're looking at the corner boost right now for Spacestation Gaming. It's getting robbed. Casio taking one in the corner. Shawset in a solid position. This clear goes out, but Arsenal and Reddles sitting on barely any boost. Now a miscommunication comes out, a double commit, and Reddles is left alone. 1v2, gets the clear back the other end, but he himself has no boost to move forward.
And on these counterattacks, Semper are staying back and waiting for the challenge to fall. They're not giving Spacestation any room. Is that one
big
near?
interception.
Is that one near?
That might float in.
It doesn't, but regardless, only one goal is needed for SSG.
They can do it, though.
Keep it up. Casio's going to have to play this and burn all of his boost to get it down to the ground, and he will do so. Nicely done in the end. Semper handle the pressure from game 3.
Back and forth. It is a bloodbath here on the pitch. These teams exchanging punches, and it is one of the best series we have seen in the Wildcard tournament. I mean, this is glorious stuff. We're seeing shooting accuracy out of Semper. They're getting physical, and it's great because Shawset, you know, he's a shy, meek guy, but then on the field, he is bullying Spacestation Gaming. SSG started it with the demos, I'm not going to lie, but then Semper, they're able to respond.
And outside of that opening goal from Reddles, which was essentially free down the field, there was nobody around, Semper are denying so many of these individual plays, and the mechanics of SSG have not yet come into fruition. They're not finding those infield passes that cut defenders out of the play. Semper are more than happy to rely on accuracy alone.
Yeah, and it's such a smart gameplay here as we take a look at the Mobile One High Performance replay. So many decisions were difficult for Semper to make, like that one from Shawset. He could have tried to force it in, not go for a 50, go for an instant shot, but it would have been blocked much easier. Instead, he keeps it low, knows there's going to be a follow-up. I mean, the trust out of these three players, they have each other's back in those dire moments.
I mean, you had 2 goals from Casio, and he's getting facilitated.
Who was so defensive the game before. That man had 0 shots.
Exactly, and the facilitation from Semper, everybody gets a chance, right? Yeah. Everybody gets an opportunity to either capitalize on a potential goal or set their teammate up for one. And it's the selfless play from Semper that's gotten them this far. It's something that could continue to work for them. But for SSG, I mean, we know what we're going to get from the squad. We know how good they're going to be, and Semper realized that as well.
And Spacestation Gaming are the scariest within the first half of these games. They have boost at Semper. They kind of use up all their aggression, and then they recharge within the first half of the upcoming game. So for Spacestation Gaming, starting out early is going to be very important.
So now the question becomes, what's the change going to be for SSG? What is going to be the audible that's called mid-series hurdle?
So
is there anything that's so viable or visible for you?
I'm looking at the midfield boost. Spacestation Gaming almost always have possession of those midfield boost pads. They're getting robbed right now. Same with Casio. If Casio's being aggressive, that's a move that Semper have implemented. Here comes Exotic. Another corner shot.
Look at his boost. He had like nothing.
Oh my.
And he still puts it
He has no boost.
He's got nothing.
Not even a single pad. This man.
A smidge.
This man. You know,
iota.
You know how many people would have rotated back in that situation? You don't have any boost. Why are you even there? Exotic knows why. It's because he can find the shot.
He is him. And this is a 1-0 lead. Semper trying to make it 2. Casio waiting. Great patience. Oh, he was in the right spot. Ball just kind of falls precariously on the outside of the play. Daniel cuts into the lane. Here comes Arsenal.
Oh.
Denied by Shawset. These 50s, or I should say these quick challenges over the backline defender, going the way of Semper early.
Okay. Smaller dribbles here from Daniel. Maybe this is a strategy. Trying to keep this ball grounded. I don't know if it's ideal because you've got Shawset on the other side of the pitch, but still make it work with no boost is Semper. Exotic there. Doesn't have any boost, and he's still in the position and continues to play forward. We're not really seeing that from Spacestation. They don't have any boost. They oftentimes rotate back, excuse me.
You know, I liked that play. I liked that play because instead of taking a shot that could ricochet right back out to midfield, you try to play it low,
Cassio's there.
And that is what you get for it. You get possession away, you come back up with full strength, everything in the tank, and you have an opportunity to spread out on the field, and Shawset with a fantastic pass to get it to Cassio.
And it's crazy that Cassio is in that position in the first place because they're prioritizing boost. Cassio's all the way down on the other end, taking your corner. Spacestation rotate back. They have nothing left for themselves, and they're forced to get these last-second saves, which they can't find.
Uh-oh. Cassio, half pinch, maybe a third, an eighth. And here comes SSG. It's going to be up to Daniel and Reynolds to facilitate this offense as Arsenal will bring it through the corner, quickly met as that ball stays in traffic.
Reynolds
with the escape.
Zit.
Oh, what a floater! They could have fallen in backwards, but yet again, Semper deal with it. Defensively, they have been phenomenal in this series, and Shawset playing bully ball through the side. Stretching the defense out thin. Spacestation have to try again.
I don't think Spacestation expected Semper to come out and be this aggressive with demos, especially with Cassio. Whenever we had that one game where Cassio had 0 shots, he completely did a 180, and he said, okay, now I'm going to be aggressive as can be, get some demos, take you out while you're on our end, and relieve that pressure.
I mean, the long clear is great, but the infield passing from SSG is something that's been a staple of this trio for so long. When will it come out?
You asked for it, Daniel. We needed a better shot.
How much can he do? It floats in. Arsenal finally upfield pays off. The overextension comes together, and it's a double commit that leaves way to an open net.
Exotic and Shawset getting things mixed up. Both of them up for that shot. And then Arsenal says, I will take this. I've seen you do some corner shots. Let me get one of my own.
Sometimes there are games in Rocket League where it can only be 2 minutes that's gone by, but it feels like 5. This is one of those games. And if you're SSG, there's so much time in the world to get back into it. And Semper have to be careful with doing too much.
Oh, and this time Cassio's not far forward. There was a demo on the play, but he didn't want to get aggressive. Still, he's getting a touch on it, but Reynolds is too fast, and it's a 2v1 situation. Daniel goes for the fake and leaves it for Arsenal, but it was sniffed out from Semper.
Wonderfully designed play from Spacestation, but better read from Semper on the patient. Arsenal get there, yes. He's going to try to keep it up through the ceiling. Exotic quickly read. Fennec in hand will deal with it.
Okay.
And Shawset will try to corral this ball, but bullied by Daniel right in front. And a huge 50 to get it towards midfield.
Look at these first touches from Spacestation. Instead of going for that immediate pass downfield, they're realizing they're not always in position for that pass, so they'll keep it close. Go for that first touch, and then try and control the pace. It's worked out for the first goal. Will it work out for a second?
Now it's just about wrangling the ball in at midfield. Spacestation getting a couple interesting looks. The defense has been too good from Semper. Time and time again, a goalie steps up, but this one gets dangerous. Reynolds on the opposite side, Arsenal underneath. Here comes Daniel. They have boost now through the corner. Do they give the young one room to work?
Big transition. It's past one, but Exotic, the shadow defense, always behind him. That's a big clear out, and there's still a player from Semper getting in the way of Spacestation.
60 seconds to play here in game number 5. This best of 7 could go to Champions Field. I would love for that to happen.
I just want to say Champions Field.
I would love for that to happen.
Where we're actually on Champions Field in the series. Certainly this has the potential to be a staple of the wild card.
Looking for that change. Long clear. Reynolds can't find it. Better takeaway from Semper. Into the corner. What does Spacestation put up on the bar? On the plate. A lot of words, not a lot of time. Only 30 seconds to go.
This is it. Spacestation Gaming, 1 goal to even the playing field. Reynolds up early, Shawset. The accuracy still standing tall. That one just given away. Reynolds looking for a player, trying to connect some passes, but Exotic harassing him on the offense.
Yeah, Reynolds made the right play. Exotic just made a better one.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there's only so much you can really do. And Semper are going to take those easy bounces and convert it to either a goal or a chance. Off the kickoff. You need a goal within the next 5 seconds if you're SSG for this to be realistic.
The ball is in SSG's court. Semper were in this exact same position. Almost got it, actually. Or at least between 1 or within 1. Final 10 seconds. We'll see if it goes down the other end. Otherwise, we're looking at match point for Semper, who have turned this series around.
I mean, granted, both teams are 2-0.
Yeah.
Neither have to worry about being eliminated today. If you do lose, you try again tomorrow. If you win, you move on to the main event. Thumbs up all around, though. Exotic with 3 epic saves, bumped everybody off the pitch. And Semper won this one handedly in the end.
And now we have a 3-2 scoreline. And I'm going to be honest with you, Spaceman. Even if Semper were up 3-0, I wouldn't count Spacestation Gaming out, let alone 3-2. Spacestation Gaming have reverse swept at best of 7 before, okay? They can 100% bring this game around, and they had it close there in that individual game. Now with their backs against the wall, maybe Arsenal gets unleashed from his chains, and we'll see something special.
A lot like what we heard the desk talk about, where Spacestation won't come into this series underestimating Semper.
Yeah.
Semper now up 3-2 in this series. Guarantee you they will not be underestimating Spacestation. They know how important this series is, the opponent they're playing, and what a way to win, to get into the main event than to beat a team like SSG. Granted, it's Swiss, not Double Elam, but still, you're taking down a team that feels like they can make a championship run, and Semper, who a lot of people have doubted.
And we'll see Spacestation Gaming get bullied around on the field where somebody like Chaussette is bumping them or Cassio's messing with them, as we do, in fact, have a timeout for Spacestation Gaming. This is critical for them to change that playstyle. And what I want to see when I mentioned Arsenal, more demos. I want to see that physicality come out. Yes, he has been pushing forward, taking some boost, but they're getting beaten up on the field, and they're trying to slow down the pace even more instead of matching them. And Spacestation Gaming are one of those teams that I think can match any level of aggression here.
So are you changing the order of the offense now for SSG? Are you looking for physicality, then mechanics, then spacing, or are we moving these cups around?
The thing that I've always liked about Spacestation Gaming is they know how to balance things perfectly. Maybe not in the last 2 games we've seen out of them, but previously they have this perfect equilibrium state where they're able to balance demos, balance aggression, figure out who's being forward and the most forward at any given time. And it swaps between Arsenal and Rebels. Those two have been more passive. Send them forward. Let Daniel have some space to do what he does best, make some magic, and damage that defense.
I mean, that's what makes teams like Moist so impressive, where they take like what SSG do well, which is the passing, the mechanics, the spacing, the intuition, and trusting one another, and they take it to the next level. And that's kind of what you're looking for right now for SSG.
And
like,
they can hit that level. They can hit that ceiling, Spaceman. Certainly.
They absolutely can. Hey, listen. Shout out to Bob's Ramen. He looks so happy.
Oh, he's
Let's
happy.
Go hang out with him.
He's happy because we're 1 game away from a Game 7.
Yeah, he's smiling. You got to give him what he wants. Or he eats the foundation under your house, and you go underground. And you look at us. We'll see you there.
Or an Aquadome. But we've already passed that point.
Let's get into it. Neo Tokyo on your screens, and Semper are 1 win away from a 4-2 series win against Spacestation. But here comes Arsenal and SSG trying to orchestrate the offense early on in this game.
Spacestation Gaming. What is the change that comes out into this game after the timeout? Were they just trying to take a break, or were they purposely implementing a big change and shift in their strategy, their approach? Reddles, the demo, that's what I wanted to see more. And look at the space it opens up for Arsenal to go for a flip reset. Here we go, Chaussette on the dribble, looking like Valencia Chaussette. Gets stomped out, and we've still got a back and forth game.
I mean, the boost management has been fantastic from Semper, but a double tap that sets it up to Arsenal.
Oh my.
That's a knuckleball in the front of the net. Here comes Daniel, trying for a second challenge. Exotic deals with it again, and Exotic and Cassio defensively have been flawless in this series.
Cassio has been able to read where Spacestation Gaming are wanting to go with these midfield passes. After game 1, he's like, all right, I completely dissected your playstyle. I know where you're trying to go, and I will slot the shots and put myself in the position between those passes to really get a good transition.
It's a booming clang off the backboard. Still around for Spacestation. Here comes Arsenal looking for a pass. Quickly down, but Daniel's ready for the extension, and there he goes. How much boost does he have? A bit, a bump.
There we go.
Reynolds around, but Cassio clears. Back to SSG, back to the front of the box. Reynolds slots it, almost a redirect, but I like what I'm seeing from Spacestation, trying to get creative in that offensive third.
And they needed to do that because that save would have come out from Semper. It's not enough to have one early shot from the midfield. The defense from Semper, too strong. Need creativity if you're Spacestation Gaming, and they're going for it.
Daniel's just 1 or 2 key plays away from a breakaway. We've seen Reynolds be fantastic at midfield. Arsenal often overextending. Semper have done a great job of isolating a lot of players, keeping them in the zone, and funneling them through the corners where they've won these 50s in the first touches. As Exotic again will get it around 1, maybe 2. There's a fake. Here comes Cassio. Chaussette as well, working in tandem. Guardian Angel behind in case a shot did land through, but it won't for the moment. Exotic with a bit of boost to burn here. Arsenal has to play the 50, and Shawset pops it. Here comes Reynolds back to midfield.
And it's getting messy on the field. Demos and bumps more often from both teams. This one popped out for Reynolds. Doesn't find it. Look at that 50-50 all the way down the other end, and Spacestation Gaming are going to have to go back to step number 1.
Some games go slow, others go fast. This is the latter. We've burned 2 minutes, and it has been lightning quick. Looking for that first goal for both teams.
Exotic
a long clear downfield to Exotic. Does he center that back out for a pass? I think he might have been looking for Casio, but regardless, the transition begins. SMPR have to fall back, and with that, they will grab boost up to SSG now to make the play. What do they call? Where's the bluff? Reynolds off the backboard, getting a second touch. Here comes Daniel, won't find the angle, and Exotic escapes yet again.
Spacestation Gaming are finding their own corner paths, though. You don't see somebody like Casio pushing forward and trying to constantly steal it, or Exotic doing that as well, which means there's more control for Spacestation, and they're going to be deadlier on the counterattack. 3 players now flopping at the ball. It does go in favor of SMPR, but there was a demo down the other side, so quickly things have turned around, and there's still a man hunting.
Yeah, now they just need midfield boost, and that's what SMPR are prioritizing. You got Reynolds already grabbing one. Arsenal can make the call. Daniel falls back. Everybody gets a chance to swing through the midfield. This is what SSG do so well. They start to overwhelm you with numbers when you don't expect it in those lanes. The traffic can be difficult. It's not suffocating, but it's enough to make the plays break down where they stand. And with Daniel's 50 and a chance now for SSG, here's an opportunity for Arsenal to keep this one going. The extension will be there. Reynolds falling back down to the ground. But yet again, every single time SSG make a play, it's SMPR who go right back down the field.
Yeah, and we'll talk about ball over boost, but for Spacestation Gaming, they certainly have the idea, right, to go for that boost instead so that they can maintain more possession and have a stronger 50-50, at least keep up with the speed, because if you're going for boost, they don't find themselves out of position too much. There's some space given to Casio because they're going back for boost, but what does Casio do with it? Nothing. He just gives it right into Spacestation Gaming. The trap has been laid, SMPR are falling into it, and it's leading into more shots off the backboard.
Oh, that's so dangerous. You're gonna have to stop that every time. Spacestation are threatening, and you gotta feel that something's coming. SMPR dealing with that pressure. They've done it all series. It's a long best of 7. They've continued to do so in Game 6.
We're scoreless.
Tried to jump the gun. I mean, we could be looking at a 0-0 going into OT.
Here we go.
But Casio kicking it high. Shawset, dead center, Exotic, left wing. He'll fly up into the play. Casio looks for the bump. It won't be there. Quickly cut down by Daniel, and now SSG's chance to move upfield.
The first time I think I've seen somebody from SMPR not opt to go for the easy midfield pass off the ceiling and the backboard. There is space for Spacestation Gaming. Do they end it before OT?
They might. Reynolds, he's going to sneak through. Here comes Daniel.
No way, no way!
And Daniel again with the 1v1!
Daniel! Everybody's speaking about Laniel. He's coming out here on top. 6 seconds left, and he might just have put in the game-winning shot to send us to Game 7.
Why do you keep counting against him? SMPR did such a great job all series, but he eventually finds the angle. They got to keep it up now, and they won't.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we get ourselves a Champions Field.
We have been waiting patiently, Spaceman, for a series like this. We finally got it. 3-3 in the wild card. This is the 3rd round. These teams are fighting to get a clean 3-0 record and make it into the group stage.
This is day 3 of Wildcard.
Day 3, baby.
We have a crowd here.
Come on.
We got like a billion more coming next week.
Oh.
And it's just insane what Spacestation have been able to do. The resolve in the end of this team. They didn't falter with their game plan. And this was a classic battle of just nothing but trading rooks and pawns, and the chess match that went between these two teams.
It seems
it took one single goal.
Exactly. And it seems like they took less of a priority on those rotations and were getting more selfless with the ball, saying, I'm not going to ball chase. And we do actually have a timeout for SMPR. So we have an extra 60 seconds on top of that previous 60 seconds. We have a full 2 minutes here for SMPR to recover before we get into Game 7. All the momentum they had before has been killed. This is an even playing field, Spaceman.
You know, I feel like this is the one opportunity where SMPR, you could say that their momentum was killed, but with how close that game was, it's more of just, okay, we're frustrated, that goal went through, we let Daniel slip up once, and we lose 1-0, and it was so close in the end. If you're SMPR, why stray away from this game plan?
Exactly.
Like, it's clearly worked while you're in Game 7.
Well, okay, and the main thing is they've got Casio. So Casio, I'm glad I get to bring this up within the 60 seconds because he's one of the first players that I've ever seen on a stage focusing the most on his mental game. You can see him taking these 60 seconds to focus on his breathing, calm down, eliminate these nerves, and maybe that's why he's taking this extra 60 seconds. Some teams will try and swap things up. We just saw Spacestation Gaming. They take a timeout, they come out, they're a completely different team, right?
Yep.
SMPR, I don't think they're going to do that. This is more to calm the nerves going into Game 7 and stay consistent.
If you're SSG, I think this timeout helps you more than it helps
You think so?
Because at this point in the series, you've been going game after game after game.
Yeah.
You had to make those adjustments on the fly.
That's it.
Now you get a chance to breathe after Daniel's win. You get a chance to just talk through
Look at
the
him,
game
look at
plan.
him. There's the breathing. This is what I'm talking about. You see him closing his eyes?
Yeah.
That's something that I first saw with Cassio.
Like, SMPR's been rolling with the punches and handling it well. SSG, a veteran team like this, that timeout might do everything for the squad. The opening 2 minutes might be the most important.
But this is it. Game 7 on Champions Field. Spacestation Gaming up against SMPR. The winner moves on. The loser's gonna have to stay in this Swiss format and battle it out even more.
Both these teams 2-0. And what a way to kick it off in day 3. 2 series in, and it's been absolutely fantastic.
Hectic stuff. SMPR going for this corner game, looking for 50-50s. If somebody comes up, look at that, Exotic being patient. That's what he wants. Forcing that challenge game, maybe it'll squeeze out into the midfield.
And we're already seeing some of those bumps on the back wall, trying to get Spacestation uncomfortable with their extensions downfield.
Yep.
But Reynolds recovering back into the play, will play through the corner. Arsenal potentially waiting for that challenge. It will not fall. Regardless, he will get the ball right back. Does Shawset make a read off of it? Yes.
And it's hard to see, but everybody needs to pay attention to the boost of Spacestation Gaming. Look at their corners. You don't see SMPR with a player downfield taking it. That's what worked out so efficiently before. Will Spacestation Gaming still be able to have that type of control over the boost pads? Daniel's alone, and Arsenal, as he's rotating back, does get the boost.
I'm worried about some of those redirect passes from SMPR because you catch SSG rotating, and they're not ready for that.
Yeah.
But they've done a great job of keeping the ball towards the ground, changing some of their attitudes, and getting more aggressive on the offensive third. We've seen it before. A minute or so burned here in Game 7. A lot of fanfare, but no score.
And there was a double coming on the play, which leaves so much space for Arsenal to do some damage. Doesn't get much out of it. Another forced 50-50 from Exotic. And a stalemate, back and forth. No team able to hold on to too much possession, excuse me. But Shawset does take that corner and might lead to even more pressure.
That's a dangerous back pass. You better be hoping that Cassio can't recover like he just did with a double tap that sent it towards the high part of the backboard. Trying to clear it away, but SSG have no luck right now. Exotic has Cassio as well.
Oh,
it's just gonna float in, and it just rolls its way forward. SMPR had all the numbers up. SSG had it as well, but they get baited around one another.
Oh my goodness, Spacestation Gaming absolutely thrown for a whirl. Exotic didn't know what he was doing behind the ball, just forcing a 50-50, and it confused everybody on Spacestation Gaming, left speechless, and you've just got to force in the shot.
I feel like we just got sent back to Game 1 and 2 with how this series went.
Yeah.
Didn't expect that this quickly. First 2 minutes, it's 1 goal. Shawset trying to make it 2.
Sometimes it's that sudden change of pace, Spaceman, that can throw a team off. This game was high-flying left and right, the clear, constantly going back and forth between each side, and then all of a sudden things stop and the ball loses all its speed. Threw Spacestation off their game, but they need to get back into this, trailing by 1.
Not the sharpest touch from Reynolds, but it doesn't matter. Center back down from Arsenal. Reynolds keeping it alive. Daniel's out. Arsenal's out. There's a demo. And here comes Daniel.
What is that pass?
Has to play it high off the backboard. You're going to have to slow it here like he does. A triple tap. What? Reynolds again?
How?
It happens every time, and SSG find the goal.
How did they make this work? Daniel just did the impossible. He controlled it off the backboard, recovered like an absolute legend, and then it was able to get it back into the midfield. Spacestation Gaming have somehow tied it up.
That kid.
That is ridiculous. That pass that came across was so strong.
I don't understand it. But here comes Daniel again. If he wins that 50, it's a dangerous ball game here. Cassio, the defensive SMPR, have to slow it down. And they might.
All set. Oh, going for a flick. This is something out of SMPR we haven't seen in quite a while. Is their energy depleted? Of course not. It's all tied up 1-1.
That's a great touch from Reynolds. He gets boost as well. That's a great extension downfield because now you have numbers around and you can play through the aerials here.
Oh, what a touch from
But Exotic,
oh.
fantastic as always. Cassio playing it off below the back wall.
Yeah.
Reynolds had to make that read perfectly, and he did.
These teams are definitely leaving everything on the field. We're seeing it. The predictions from SMPR, this defense, still up to par with the best we have seen all tournament long, and Spacestation Gaming recovering off the backboard, going for those midfield passes. This is by far the best these teams have looked, and we are getting a thrilling Game 7.
One of the very few demos we've seen in this Game 7.
Here we go.
Daniel, second
don't
tap,
do it to him.
Not there. Here comes Arsenal. Quick block right on the point of contact from Exotic, and Daniel will take it away again. He holds the reset over one. Oh, it floats around. It's not in, but the danger is still there from SSG.
SMPR are buried on the defensive side, but they're not out yet. They're still tied up. Shot after shot, save after save. They are still in this one. 45 seconds to go.
And it's hanging dangerously. There's not a lot of clears right now for SMPR. They're struggling to find the opening back at midfield. Cassio will eventually win a 50, leads it to Exotic. Exotic can play this down low to the ground, and you have Cassio around as well. It's not going to roll in. Everybody calm down. It's chaos and a bit of pandemonium at midfield, but Reynolds off the back wall, cleared away by SMPR.
Spacestation Gaming, each time it seems like they get maybe 2-3 shot opportunities. But SMPR, when this ball goes down the other end, they've only got one chance, one good look at the net. If they're going to take this game, they have to make it count. Their shooting accuracy has been flawless. An early shot from Reynolds doesn't go in, and we find ourselves with the final 10 seconds.
Daniel, it's a waterfall. Cassio had to play it. It's going to give it right back to Reynolds. Where are the numbers right now for SMPR?
Reynolds.
A 0-second buzzer beater to get into the main event. And Exotic will cut it. Shawset down to the ground. Can they kill it? They will. It's golden goal for Game 7.
Game 7, overtime. The crowd here getting louder and louder, and this is a good kickoff. Reynolds around one player. SMPR have been forced to play so much unbelievable defense, but they are still standing tall, standing proud.
Daniel can make the play, but Shawset with the cut into the lane. Pressure right now for SMPR as they push up 2 at a time. Won't find it. We'll keep this one low. Big challenge from SMPR, but Daniel escapes, and he has no boost. We'll rethink the approach.
Oh my goodness, the speed is picking up for SMPR. This one off the corner. Cassio doesn't have the follow-up. The boost wasn't there. One of the best opportunities we've seen wasted.
He wanted a pass. It just wasn't around. Shawset cuts it again, but SSG running a bit low between Arsenal and Daniel's department. How long will it last?
Classic!
And it falls in again! Shawset takes him down, and Spacestation have to try again tomorrow.
And it's a classic play from the corner. Look at the pop-off, the hugs coming out. Cassio feeling it right now. The energy, top-notch from these 3 boys.